ya. Time to give it to ya. What's happening? Let me get my little camera straight. What's happening? Good people. Happy Monday. Y'all know what today is. It's not our anniversary, but guess who's coming to Cleveland? Tony. That's right. Rumor has it Tony is coming to Cleveland. That's some good news, right? But not as good as news as America's favorite podcast about Afro textured hair. It is me, your home girl, Ladosha Wright, aka Cheryl. That's right. And there's my home girl, my PNC right there, the one and only Cheryl Morrow, aka BMF. She got all these like PNC, BMF, all this other good stuff. So we are very, very, very excited to be with you guys this evening. As usual, okay, as usual, we're very excited. We have a wonderful topic tonight. I think you guys are going to enjoy this because last week, right, we talked about the top 10 mistakes that hairstylists make. And boy, we had some serious mistakes. We cut off too much hair. We don't listen. You know, there's a sector of our industry that's having people, you know, they have to shampoo their hair before they come in. What else did we have? We don't listen, you know, cookie cutting products. So we have some work to do. And we talked about the town hall, right? That's going to help, you know, address some of these issues. But today we're going to flip the script and we're going to talk about the top 10 mistakes that customers make at home with their hair. I have some videos that's going to help make the discussion just be totally, completely awesome. But Cheryl, should we go ahead and play our theme song before we get into it? She said, yeah. She said, go ahead, Kilolo. Go ahead, DJ Bugatti. Do your thing. All right, here we go. We're going to bring in some Rachel Evans as we wait for some more family, some more partners to come through the chat. This is our theme song, and it's called Sister, Let Me Do Your Hair. And this is sung by the illustrious Rachel Evans, which we probably need to get her on here one day, Cheryl. We should. Everybody probably wants to see who she is. All right, let's play this up. Here we go, guys. Let's get ready. It's coming. Hey. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hey. Come on, y'all. Let us do your hair this evening. Don't be scared. Don't be shy. Hey, hey. Let me do your hair. Do y'all still snap y'all fingers out there? I hope you guys do. Very happy. y'all know I can't sing, but the Lord knows my heart.
He knows your voice too.
He knows my voice. Did y'all hear that? I think he knows my hair too. Yes. Check that hair out. You gotta admit, that's some dope hair right there. That's some. Look at that. Oh, woo! At least hit a thumbs up for the hair. And the hat. A thumbs up for the hair and the hat. All right now. Wow, I ain't got no hair over here.
It's hair. It's white.
All right now. Woo! All right. We are about to have a dynamic discussion. We are going to be discussing the top 10 mistakes that folk make with their hair when it comes to home hairstyling. But before we get into it, we got to do a little current events and everything, as y'all just come on in, get y'all little potato chips and get y'all Kool-Aid and y'all bottled water. I remember when Evian used to be the water, whatever. Oh, everybody used to want to drink. Yes. And the other one, Penta. Come on, drop your favorite bottled water in the chat. We had Evian, we had Penta. What else did we have? Oh, Dasani. I was gonna have a baby, right? Just so I can name my baby Dasani. That's a dope name for some water. Come on, man. Dasani, that's a nice name. What else waters did we have? Oh, Mountain Crisp. We've had some interesting.
I think Fiji.
Oh, come on now. Oh, what about the Voss water? Remember, it was in the glass bottle, and Jennifer Aniston and them was like, we ain't carrying no plastics. We got us some funky Voss water. We were all running up to Whole Foods and spending like, $10 on a bottle of, where is Voss at? Anybody know where the hell is Voss water?
They're probably, it's still on there.
It's still there? They're probably scooping it up out the toilet. Ain't no telling, So we went through the whole bottled water phase, right? Only to come to find out who we were paying for toilet water.
Purified toilet water.
Come on now, drop your favorite bottled water in the chat. I was liking the reverse osmosis. Have you ever heard of that? Anybody ever heard of the reverse osmosis? Don't know what it meant. They said Denzel was drinking it. I don't know. Does anybody really know? But I'm just saying, Cheryl, what do we know about that tap water? That we drank. What's up?
We just wanted to know what Oprah was drinking.
We don't know what Oprah was drinking.
I'm just saying, whatever she was drinking.
Whatever she was drinking,
like Denzel, whatever they was drinking, we drink.
Yeah, they said Denzel was drinking reverse osmosis. I have no idea of what reverse osmosis. Then it became what was that? The alkaline. That's the hottest thing. If you're not drinking alkaline water today, then they say you
don't know what's up.
So if you drink alkaline water, drop your number 9 in the chat. I was falling for the alkaline water, but then I started to wonder, I wonder what happens once it hits that hydrochloric acid. So I just went back to, I drink tap water, I'll admit. I guess the chat got crickets, okay? Nobody's admitting to drinking tap water, but I'm back to drinking tap water because they say, my dentist say it's got some good some minerals in there that's good for you and everything. So I'm back to drinking tap water. But if you have your favorite bottled water, go ahead on and drop your favorite bottled water in the chat. We had Evian, we had Voss, we had Deer Park, we had Reverse Osmosis, we had Penta. I mean, it was a time when bottled water was hot. I don't know. I'm with you, Sandro. I have no idea. Cheryl, what was your? I know you had a favorite bottled water. Come on now, Deer Park. We got Deer Park representing.
Actually, I am kind of like a water connoisseur, so I don't buy
Really?
I don't buy large bottles of water. I just pick two or three that I like. It has pretty bottles and has because I mean it's just sexy to me for some
So it
reason.
doesn't matter what the name is. You just going whatever bottle looks nice.
Yeah, I like boutique water. I'm a boutique water buyer.
Excuse me, she likes boutique. I don't drink eau de toilette from the toilet, but I drink eau de faucet from the faucet. And our homegirl Sandra says she's rocking that Deer Park water. I used to do Deer Park, but they cost too damn. I'm a Scorpio. You guys, I'm the cheap Scorpio. So that's our that so so bottled water was in. But another thing that we see in current events. Did you see the BET? I said you sent me a message with Walmart. And what was Walmart is now sponsoring the BET Award. So what's up?
Yeah,
Where's
got
Ultra Sheen? What's going on?
that. See, you see how that trickled down to that good response. Like we go from the era of dance and music and fashion, sponsored by Black Hair Care and by the Black Hair Care industry and a Black Hair Care owner and dynasty. Here we go, legendary brand. All of a sudden, now Walmart. You see what that's what I'm saying about the Y2K natural movement. That's a perfect example. Great point.
Well,
Great.
well, you know what? I don't know how many of you have had the opportunity to visit the African American Museum that's located in Washington D.C. I had the opportunity to. When I went, like right when it had first opened, it was really really hard to get in. So we were like just thirsty trying to get up in there. And when I walked in, and yeah, it's Miss Foster, you said Wally World, yeah, yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, I know y'all like Ladosha. You
Wow.
just when I saw Walmart, the first thing I saw, well, I said this is not gonna be a good exhibit. But to Cheryl's point, you know what? We are not paying into those spaces so that we can have some authenticity. I personally did not like the museum, but I did not donate any money to the museum. So these are some hard discussions that we as African Americans we have to either do some introspection, um, revisit. I don't know, but we are not making contributions.
You tax dollars. I mean, at the end of the day, here we go again. That's a bad argument. I think we just make bad arguments. We don't have to pay into anything. Why should we
What?
have to pay into anything?
Oh, come on now. Did y'all hear Cheryl? Come on, Cheryl. We about to
Well,
this Key Lolo now. Come on now. She got her, y'all see that? She got her what's his name? The man from down under. I forgot his name. But she got the hat on. So wait a minute now. What do you I want you come on, Sandra. We all want to know. What do you mean that we shouldn't have to pay for our spaces
well,
in the
if,
place?
well, if, well, if we had a better argument with reparations and things of that nature, We would have a list of what we want. Why should
Say
we
that
have
in,
to? We could make a better case for reparations if that's what we are trying to do. We could have a better argument in saying we want this A, B, C, and D. One, two, three.
no, 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 no. We,
And let me just say this. Let me say this. Walmart, it was not an underwriter because they didn't have no money. Let's be clear about that. They didn't step in and say, "Oh, you guys don't have enough budget. Let us step in and we'll give you." No, that is not what happened. They were um, courted for their contribution.
so Walmart was courted. You got to speak a little bit louder because you're still a little bit low. So you're saying Walmart was courted for their
Yeah.
contribution, and you don't think
Yes.
that we should be paying into museums and things of that nature because of reparations?
No, I'm saying that we can make a better argument for things that we should have and we deserve and we earned. And if museums are on that list or they can be on that list,
I don't know. Yeah, well,
I'm saying that we won't have to see the private. Uh-oh. See, we started talking about money and then it went crazy. Okay, what I'm saying is that then we don't have to have corporate dollars. That's what I'm saying.
okay, okay,
And let me just
okay.
and let me just say this. I am a reparations kind of girl that believes I don't want money. I want an argument in a conversation about what money Black America is not paying into America. That is a better conversation for me.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Well,
so, let,
okay, you
so let's
guys.
say we tally up the bill for 800 million, 800 billion, right? Let's just say that. Well, we can eat up that money by what money we're not going to pay into a government that sanctioned all of the issues and obstacles that Black people experience since 1619. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so you might have to take your earbuds out because we're getting a little delayed there. Maybe try that. So what she's saying is, um, you're trying to work that in reverse. So don't give us the money. Give us some tax breaks. Is that and not let us pay into certain things versus reparate
No, not
versus
not
giving us
not 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 tax breaks. I'm not tax breaks. We are not giving you tax dollars. Period.
oh,
For 10 generations. That's what I'm saying.
look at
Because the
Sandra in the
tax
chat
even
like, yep.
wait. Can you imagine your tax dollars still went to your demise? Federal government still sanctioned Jim Crow. Still sanctioned. Your tax dollars actually went towards your demise. Plus, your tax dollars went to go pay other people. Your tax dollars went to pay into universities. You paid into benefits that you didn't even get. You paid into the government that couldn't even enforce some of the amendments that were ratified in the Constitution. So I'm saying, since you guys did a bad job, we are going to 10, 12 generations, that's all we're asking, no taxes. You're guilty on the federal level. You're guilty. You already know what you did. And I'm saying, okay, then you don't have to give up no money. We just not giving you any money until
Okay.
you pay
Um,
until you pay back the bill. That way, it ain't got to come out the government. It ain't got to come out no pocket of nobody else that said, "Oh, yeah, my grandfather did it, but I didn't do it." Well, at the end of the day, I wasn't a slave either, but I benefited the brunt of the position of my ancestors, and you benefited from the position of yours. All I'm saying, let's just even it out, and we can go from there. We ain't no money got to cross hands.
okay.
Income
All
tax,
right.
capital gains, all them taxes, all of it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, you
I
got
ain't
some
saying
you got
nothing.
some You got some hand raises in the chat. I do like that one. Hadn't thought of it, but I agree
Thank you.
with you, Sandra. Yep, that does sound pretty good. But you guys, go ahead on if you are watching this post the live, then please drop in the chat. What do you think about reparations? We say I kind of agree with Cheryl, Leslie Ann. Go ahead on and y'all keep y'all money and give us 10 years of
10 generations.
10 generations of tax-free everything. Let me just hear. When she said everything, I'm with you, Sandra. That sounds like a good idea. Although I don't think Yvette and her homeboy would go along with that one. But hey,
Who?
Yvette Carno and I forgot the other guy's name. So so they may not be for that, but that is something to think about. Okay, so you're talking about 10 generations of no taxes. Well, that's wishful thinking, isn't that right? Okay, you said that hat. She said that hat ting. She loves the hat. All right, so we are going to go ahead on and take the opportunity to go for the deep dive. We're going to get ready, and some people did send me an email, and I got a couple of inboxes on Facebook. We requested last week that you guys share with us what you think some of the top 10 mistakes that people make, or customers rather, make when it comes to taking care of their hair at home. And so now I have some videos to kind of help, make this conversation, pretty dope. So you guys, y'all better get ready to hear, to see what some of these top 10 mistakes. Now, these are not in any given order of importance. So I just wrote them out, and then you guys can drop your comments in the chat and give us some feedback. And again, we also would like to thank Asar Imhotep. Please go over and check out Asar Imhotep's YouTube channel. Now, he is definitely on the scholarly tip. So if you are a nerd like Cheryl and I, then you will probably enjoy Asar Imhotep's. If you are a hip hop ghetto ratchet Key Lolo, you might not like it. But Key Lolo, she like a little stuff, because that way I get to talk. My alter ego get to talk shit, but I get to learn something new. So go over and check out. Again, that's Asar, Asar Imhotep, and he is a linguist, and he has some wonderful people on from all over the world on his channel. That's all about Africanity and Pan-Africanism. All right. So again, that's Asar Imhotep. So let's hop right into some of the top 10 mistakes. The top 10 mistakes that people make when it comes to taking care of their home. We're going to start with number 1. Okay, this one doesn't have a video, so I'm just going to get this one out the way. Okay, as a hairstylist, now I'll put this one on myself. When I first thought of this one, this is the one that I wanted to get off my chest the most. Everything else, again, I took some information from, some feedback rather from emails and my inboxes, and then of course I scoured social media to see what other hairstylists were saying about what they can't stand. And I did put some of their clips in here as well. All right. So here's the one that I don't like the most. Okay. Y'all ready? Here go Kilolo. That's what I can't stand. I'm going to turn to Kilolo right now. Here's what I can't stand that people do when they, leave the salon, they go to take care of their hair. How long is this hairstyle going to last? Come on, hairstylists. Don't y'all leave me hanging. Why do customers ask us how long is the hairstyle going to last? That's like going to the cleaner saying, now when will this jacket start to wrinkle? Why? Why do customers ask how long is a hairstyle going to last? All right. I'm just gonna wait. I'm wait. Oh, we got a response. All right. Beautiful. I don't understand. Like, why do you want to? What is that all about, Cheryl? So, why do you think people want to know how long? Now, this remember. If you are not African American, you probably don't know what we're talking about. Hence the name of the podcast, the dumbest shit that Black people say about Black hair. Now, again, we're not trying to be insulting, but we are Black, so we can tease and laugh at us. And if you disagree, we respect you. So, why do Black people ask that dumb question? What's your opinion? Now, Cheryl didn't say that. I said that.
And just put in a disclaimer.
Here's a
Some
disclaimer.
my white clients have never asked me that. Okay, that should give us a clue.
Are we comparing ourselves to white people?
Well, in terms of that question being odd, we're going to say the question is, I have never had that question presented to me or proposed to me by other races of people. And I also think that it's generational as well. I think probably within the last 30 years, it has really gotten worse. But Black people are just accustomed to not really having time to allocate to beautifying themselves. Well, and let me just say this: women, because a Black man does not ask his barber, how long is this cut gonna last? Only my sisters ask that ridiculous question. So, and I think that it is because of they have lack of time to allocate. I don't know if mothers or a child has ever said, "Mama, how long is these ponytails gonna last?" I mean, I don't. I just don't think that we've examined it, and that's why we're having the town hall and salon métier during the Afro Hair Summit, because I want to explain to them how ridiculous that question is, and they are all worried about it, no matter what socioeconomic group they're in. Black women want to refrain from doing their hair if they go to the salon. They think that it should be. I don't know if are they talking about the style or the chemicals or the shampoo?
They're talking about all of it. I mean, I do a very thorough consultation. I mean, a very thorough consultation. And so, I decided to make the consultation the focal point of the Reverence Design Team Hair Salon because of it's just plain old ignorance, not in an insulting way. We're not, like I said, we're making light of the dumbest shit that people say about Black hair. However, that is some dumb shit. I mean, it's like, come on, people. I mean, when you walk out the door, mean, it's a hair style. It's not hair cement. It's like food. How long is this chicken gonna last? You're supposed to eat the chicken, so you wear the hairstyle, you recreate the look, and so that's something that really. So you
maybe they don't know how to recreate the look. That's a very good point. Maybe they don't know how to recreate.
Okay. So Sandra's saying she thinks they are talking about the style and they are talking about the maintenance. Well, if you say maintenance, then you are definitely speaking to, you're going to have to recreate the look. But as far as like people, when I curl people's hair, they always want to know, well, how long is it going to last? By the time I got to my car, the curls fell, and I'm like, yeah. It's a hairstyle. I mean, this style is good until I go to sleep on it. I mean, if I get caught in the rain, you see what it's looking like. I got to live in this style. I'm under these hot lights.
Maybe
so this is gonna last.
Yeah, maybe their maintenance is weak. Maybe their maintenance skills And
Okay.
so,
All right.
and maybe that is something that hair cosmetologists can have more classes and courses for their clients to how to duplicate the look.
Okay. All right. We got number one. Okay. Number two. I just put a little video, just a little clipping on this one. Here is the number two
Uh-oh.
mistakes. This is the number two mistakes that people make at home when it comes to their hair. And here we go. Just a little bit. Here's a little bit here. All right, guys, using that social media and Googling, you've got to watch out. Cheryl is highly recommending that if you're paying your hairstylist or your barber, your loctician, or whoever, you need to let them teach you how to take care of your hair. Social media is good for like inspiration and maybe just if you're into voyeurism, if you know what I mean, you want to peer inside to see what other people are doing, then of course go for what you know. But you can't look at what Ladosha does and Cheryl does to take care of your hair. So speak to the importance, Cheryl, of that customized advice from your licensed professional.
I think this is akin to the lack of booking a consultation first, because that is where you get all of that information. And that is where you get to talk to your hairstylist without them being interrupted. They are just there to talk to you. Um, and I think that because we don't invest in the consultation, and maybe it could be because of the fee or whatever the case may be, but I also make sure when you're getting a consultation, you write things down so you can remember them. And if you do need some assistance during the week, like a reminder of what you said or whatever the case may be, and how do I do this, you can take a moment to come by the salon, and I can, or we can give you some little practice tips. But I do think it's because of lack of the having a one-on-one moment, so we can get on the same page. And then the hairstylist too. Have you realized that we have, you know, and have and
Well,
request styles that are akin to your skill set, and not wear something that is probably not akin to your skill set,
right.
and knowing that that is going to be labor
But
intensive.
could we play like two sides? Are you guys ready for this? I mean, isn't that why they went to the social media? They went to YouTube and Google in the first place, right? Everybody. That is the accusation. The reason why we turned to social media because you stuck up, arrogant, lazy, self-centered, self-absorbed, wanting to keep all the secrets to yourself. The beauty industry had failed the customers in not giving them the information. So they turned to social media. So anybody have any feedback on that? Because now when I went to search this is the complaint that people were having as a rebuttal to that. So Cheryl, what about like they went to social media because a lot of us simply were not there for them. We were turning. I mean, we would come to the salon and people would say, "You guys are the only ones that shows your bottle." So like people would turn the bottle around so they could not get the name of the product. So these are some things that hairstylists were notorious for. So talk a little bit about keeping secrets from customers that forced them to run to social media when it happened, social media became available.
Absolutely, I think it's kind of like a trifecta there. It's one, the hairstylist not having time for consultation throughout their day because they had not, probably mismanagement of time. Two, Y2K, especially within the last 25 years, they're anti-cosmetologists. I think that they were just set up to not want to trust cosmetology in the first place, because they think cosmetologists or hairstylists are the enemy. And so,
Really?
but unfortunately for hairstylists, I think we're still back at the precipice of where they started, because at the end of the day, I think that the social media, YouTube instructors, experts, doctors, so-called doctors of hair and all this other, I think they have kind of ran their course, and they're now backtracking some of the things that they did say at the birth of the 2000 season. They're not doing this anymore and doing that and co-washing. They're not, those things actually came out to be true, and to not having any bearing on moving
Okay.
them forward.
Okay.
I think that they're back
So we're
at our
starting.
doorstep. Yeah.
Sorry for cutting you off. I'm sorry. So you're saying that a lot of the information that was coming out on social media, they're kind of backpedaling. So let's see. Here's what's happening. So again, we're talking about number three. I'm sorry, 2, using Google and TikTok, and then number 4, we're going to go into. I'm sorry, number 3, we're going to go to falling for the influencers. To Cheryl's point. So here's the next. Here we go. Falling for the influencers.
The most harmful things you can do to natural hair, which is coloring it and using heat.
What you talking about, Will?
So if you don't know what your hair porosity is, there's a cup of water, just place your hair in it. If your hair floats at the very top, that means it's low porosity. That means it does not absorb moisture easily. And if it's in the middle, that means you have normal porosity hair. If you have high porosity hair, like me, your hair sinks all the way to the bottom because it absorbs moisture like no other.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay. Okay, guys. Here's the thing. I'm playing
now. And let me just say this, sis. The question I think hairstylists need to ask themselves: where did they get that information if they were opposed to cosmetology?
I have no idea, and I have a video to that. But I think what happens with watching these videos, I mean, number one, that young lady was so freaking attractive. You know, she looked absolutely beautiful. Her makeup was flawless. You know, she has the look that a lot of people want. So aesthetically, and then her delivery, you know, her hand motions, and you know, she was so succinct with the hair floating to the top. She sounds very credible. And so, what do you guys think? I think that's what we're seeing, that that sounds so good. Though I don't know why would you take a strand of hair and put it in some water? Like that is, I have no words. What do you say about that whole process of taking hair and putting it in a cup of water? Like, why would a person believe that?
But the strangest, bizarre thing for me is like, who even told them to go even try that in terms of understanding and knowing, and maybe they don't know that hair is naturally hydrophobic. No hair sinks to the bottom. But how did they make a metric system if it starts and stays on the top, and then if it stays in the middle of the water, and then if it sinks all the way to the bottom of the container? Like, where did they even, we don't even do that in beauty school. Like where did they get that from?
Well, Sandra says
they are anti-cosmetology. Is what I'm saying.
She says, well, there's no one on there to counter the theory. So there's no cosmetologists have come out to say, let me just hit it again. Okay, let me just try it again. Here's
the most harmful things you can do to natural hair, which is coloring it and using heat.
He said one of the most harmful things that you can do to hair is coloring and heat.
Now, what if people with locks? They color their hair all day, every day.
She would
It'll work.
still say, she's saying these things are harmful. She says, coloring your hair and putting heat on your hair is harmful. People are believing this. I mean, there are so many, people believe this stuff. Okay.
Is
So,
there is now I haven't been to beauty school in a long time. Are they teaching that in the new beauty school?
no, they don't teach any of this stuff. And it's not in any books either. Here we go, right here. The porosity claim. Our Nisa says at the end of the day, and I agree with you. But where'd it go? Here it goes again. It's just foolishness. I don't even understand like what kind of test. I don't know where that came from, but let me just play this clip here. No, but before I'm going to jump ahead. Here's another one. Here's another one. So we've got you're falling for the influencers, right? Okay. So here's another one. When we're talking about how to manage the hair, because customers are looking for advice and things of that nature. Yes, she is. She's well spoken. So here's another mistake that we see people are making at home, and we're into number 5, and that is this whole thing of finger combing hair. We see. If you go to this gentleman, his name is the African Hair God, and I, just kind of agreed with this whole finger combing and dry. So here's what she has to say about finger combing.
My hair is dry and I allowed it to get to this state so that I could show you how to effectively finger detangle.
What you talking about?
Number 1, finger detangling is a great way to reduce mechanical stress, okay?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Again, guys, are you listening? Look at how the finger combing is the number 1 way to reduce mechanical. I mean, they're foxy out here. So Cheryl, finger combing, these are not. I know, Melanie. I was hoping you could join us. Can we give a big old MHD for my homegirl coming out of Kentucky? She is Kentucky's premier licensed cosmetologist from You've Got Curls. Her name is Melanie Higgins Day. If you are in the area, here is a professional who is 100% immersed in the industry and is dedicated to the right information. But see, we're not as foxy, we're not as sexy as them. So people aren't listening to the hair nerds. Melanie, we are foxy and sexy, but apparently, not enough. But I think so. Cheryl, speak. Come on now, we got to help these people out because these are the mistakes. So Ladosha is speaking. I'm articulating and I'm using my words, and I've got my hair did and my makeup and my bright light. And then you have your Panama Jack hat on. So I'm going to believe Ladosha, over Cheryl because I can't see Cheryl's hair. So talk about that type of advice, finger combing properly. Mistake. That's a mistake.
It's a mistake. Yeah, absolutely. But there seems to also be something we probably have not spoken about. I think we do have some kind of dysmorphia inside of natural hair care, and I think that they have bought into what white cosmetology has probably said about black hair being fragile. And so there could be some residual psychological beliefs there that we are trying to keep the hair on the head, even though they don't have any proof that it's fragile or coming out. But we believe that Afro textures are fragile. And I do have to admit that that has come out of, I don't remember it coming out of California Curl. And since I've been alive, I've never heard Mr. Morrow say it. I've never heard basically any of the world famous and legendary hairstylists say it. But I do believe that it has come from white corporate, such as companies that want to sell you balsam and leave-in conditioners and things of that nature. But I do think that there we do have a slight dysmorphic fear that if we don't touch our hair, that it will be safer, and that's probably why we don't like to comb it, and we don't. So we are just trying to finger it. Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
I've said this once and I'll say it again. Again, I hope Leslie Ann, I hope you are still in the chat. Melanie, you can give us some of your feedback, but if you're a licensed cosmetologist, can you drop in the chat like the number one reason that you would lose a customer? Because we do. People don't think we do, but we actually do lose clientele. And so I track. And how do I track? Because we call and we ask. We ask the customers, we have first we'll ask, how did your hairstyle go? How did everything? And then we'll write down the feedback. We'll send like emails. So we get feedback and they do respond. Now it's rare, but it does happen. We do not satisfy everybody. So with that being said, the number one reason, and there is a complaint, you can go to Yelp and you will read the complaint. And that was the number one reason people leave our salon is because we tell them you have to comb your hair. And people are just, they're in, who put this? Thank you, Sandra. Thank you so much. There are many YouTubers who swear by the finger detangling. You cannot finger comb your
what is it preventing? What did it
let's
solve?
go back. Hold on, let's go back. She does have an answer for that. Here we go, guys. Listen again.
My hair is dry and I allowed it to get to this state so that I could show you how to effectively finger detangle.
What you talking about?
Number one, finger detangling is a great way to reduce mechanical stress, okay?
Ain't nobody got time.
So there you go. Thank you, Sandra. What's up, Miss Sophia? I see you in the chat. She says it's going to reduce, and you like the way she put that graphics up there. Like that looks real. I mean, you get some likes. You get a lot of likes for that. So I borrowed this from Asar, Cheryl. So before you respond to that, I'm going to do what Asar did. Are you guys ready? Here we go.
Pampa me on, pampa me on.
All right. So you guys hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. Please partner with us to help change the narrative. This is our goal. I'm sure if you have been a partner with us, this is our 63rd episode, then you are definitely well into the trenches of helping to change the narrative in your own intimate settings. So there's your answer, Cheryl. She said that this reduces mechanical stressors and finger combing. Listen, guys, don't listen to that. I mean, understanding you got to kind of, get through it so you can get ready, but that is not, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cheryl. Help them out.
But white women do their hair from wet, the shower, and wet every day. What mechanical stress? Who told her that there was that hair, a protein fiber, naturally has or prone or have the proclivity to have mechanical stress? Like, who told her that the stress was there and she could mitigate it, or we could mitigate it by like doing that instead of getting a comb?
Okay, here we go. Miss Morrow says this. Thank you. What's up, Miss Morrow? What's up? She says, but hold on. Wait a minute, Cheryl. But when your hair is natural and not straightened, doing too much combing does cause a little damage to the ends. And she thinks it's a good combination of finger detangling and combing is good when the hair is natural.
Okay. Wouldn't the hair be strongest when it's natural? Why is it fragile when it's curly? It's returning back to its natural state. Why would it be more fragile or more prone or subjected to weakness in that state, but not in a straight state? Please. And when straight, remember, curl is the original pattern. But why, when straight, it's not susceptible to being fragile, but as soon as it curls back up, it's susceptible to damage? I just logically, even though we're going to deal with that in the Afro Hair Summit, but logically, how is that rationalized? And I'm seriously asking a question.
Right. Okay, guys. We're going to give you guys a few minutes to respond. But Ms. Foster says it's the knots when you can feel the tangles, man. That scares the shit out of people. I mean, people will come in and will ask me about, like, how can I get this to, be softer? And I'm like, dude, it's like trying to ask concrete to be asphalt. It's supposed to be this way, guys. It's relaxed.
But why?
Okay, hold on. She has an answer. Okay, here's her answer. Thank you so much, Miss Morrow. So the question is, what makes it fragile? When the curl winds, every point has the ability to create a point like a triangle with points, thus making it susceptible to breakage.
Okay. Breakage, or if just comb the knot out.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Here you go, Miss Morrow. Here you go, Cheryl. Now, Cheryl is a cosmetologist. Here's what a doctor had to say about that.
So let's start with the pathology. So when you look at Afro-ethnic hair and you go along the hair strand, it's not equal diameter along it. For every twist and turn, there is a change in diameter of the actual hair strand. So it becomes thinner where the twists are happening. And if you do a cross section of African descent hair, it's an ellipsoid shape rather than a cylindrical shape, which is what Caucasian hair has.
Okay, so has anybody saw a ribbon? Has everybody saw the cardboard center of a paper towel? And when you pull it out and you see a ringlet, or you give yourself spiral curls, and you tell me if there's any diameter
change.
That's not logical. And I think what they're doing is that they don't understand anything that curls has to be flat in nature. But the flatness does not make it susceptible. It makes it dominant in order to coil. But I don't understand. People still make me understand, and I understand that you were taught wrong. I understand that. However, we are here to talk about the dumbest shit. So we are understanding, just rationalize it. All you have to do is just see if there's any microscopic difference in diameter. There is not. There is a genetic code called a dominant phenotrait that allows it to twist symmetrically in proportion, in the same proportion. Okay, so there's some intelligence in that genome that makes the hair curl, which creates a dominant phenotrait. But I don't understand the physiology has to be weaker. The physiology it has to be spoken about as if there's a defect. That when you are looking at any coil, I don't give a shit if it's a ring in a mattress, a spring, anything with an S curl has the same diameter, even at the curve. Do you understand what I'm saying? So where did we get that from? You get it because your hair has to be different in genetic differences, but it's cosmetically different. It's not a different protein, and the coil is not a downgrade defect. It's an upgrade effect. But where is the diameter? That is an optical illusion, because if you look from the top down into a coil, you see a circle. If you see a coil from the side, you see a wave. And if you see it from another position, it looks like a coil. But there's no diameter loss microscopically. When you go down to looking, it's just that there's a different shape. One, and we will explain this in the Afro Hair Summit, but that is not true. And I don't know where they got it from, please. And I think that what they're saying is that when they comb, and that's why Dr. Morrow made a comb specific for curly hair. But when you have an improper comb, or the teeth are too close together to allow the coil and the S pattern to go through the teeth, then say that the tool is not the right implement. But don't say that the hair in and of itself genetically, it has a defect or a downgraded kind of diameter and it gets thinner. No, that doesn't work. That's not true. It's not physically and scientifically true. You're muted.
Okay, that may be true, but the diameter, it turns and it shifts from point to the coil. The shape isn't the same from one point to the next.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you a question. You had a telephone cord, and the telephone cord coils, right? When you flatten out the cord, is there any diameter loss? No. It's an optical illusion. It coils for the same all the way around. It doesn't get thinner at the twist. You just have to untwist, just like you do a DNA strand. Once you flatten out a DNA strand, this doesn't have any dents in it. It doesn't have any indents in it. You have to uncoil it, and then when you uncoil it, you straighten it out and you stretch it. And when you stretch your hair out, do you see any dents? No, it's the same diameter from top to bottom.
So here's a visual. So here is to your point, Miss Morrow. Let's make it easy. So
you see where the optical illusion, right? The optical illusion is that
she's
purple
saying
part.
that when you turn it, right, it's the illusion that once you stretch this out, you see what's happening? It's flat. You see, you're going to put a flat iron to it. You're just changing the shape of the same coil. They're saying that every
way
time
the light hits it, one part looks light and the other dark part looks purple.
You see? So right here, the optical illusion is that's a stress point. It's just the way the light hits it. It's the same size. If you turn it this way, that way, this way, if you go this way, it's still the same. They are tricking. They are lying to you. They can, if you measure it.
And I don't even think that, I don't even think that they're lying. I just think that they have not been interested enough in curly hair to be able to scientifically examine it so their truths can be unjustified, and they can say, oh, well, maybe we don't know it. Maybe we don't know the truth. Maybe we need to, because at the end of the day, they would not tell that to a fiber scientist. They would not tell that to a person who deals with textiles. They would not say that to a person who deals with fabric. They just wouldn't say it. But they say it to Black people. Black people carry it on. And then, oh, our hair is fragile. We must take care of it so differently. Oh, my God. It's fragile. And we have to stop that.
Right.
We gotta stop.
And this is why in my book, what they don't tell you, and are those people, they. So on the back of the book, this is what I teach. I don't care what anybody says. To Cheryl's point, hair care and hairstyling are about the right products, the right tools, and the right techniques. You must have all three. If you don't, the feel, the look, even the smell, all of that is going to throw you off. And they keep trying to make this like a monolith or make it very complex. It is not. It is a pliable fiber. Like she says, there are different characteristics, but it's a pliable fiber. It's designed to do what? Move. There's nothing happening to the actual, like she said, diameter, unless you start putting chemicals and doing what? Peeling all of this off. But even then, you're losing layers. You're going to lose layers when that starts to happen. So we have to make sure that we have all three components. And I'm not trying to talk about, I'm not going to say this researcher's name, but I must say this is real research. I attended a presentation where a hair scientist gave a presentation that relaxing hair was easier to manage than this hair. And her argument was she used the comb to demonstrate. She received funding for this research. And the research showed that when she combed the hair with natural, right, she had more hair. And when she combed the hair with that was relaxed, she had less hair in the comb. I repeat, when she combed this hair with the comb, she got more hair. When she combed the hair that was straightened or relaxed, she got less hair. And so in her mind, that meant the relaxer was easier to manage. What Cheryl and I are saying, excuse me, please forgive me, y'all, this Kilolo, bitch, you had the wrong comb. That part. We got to stop this, y'all. I please forgive me. I'm sorry. I can't take it.
I know.
They just taking your money. That's and then we, the licensed professionals, we're out here regurgitating this nonsense for fear that you guys won't come back. It's wrong. It's wrong. She had.
I don't know. I don't know where it's coming from. It has to be coming from either standard cosmetology. It has to be coming from I don't know who told you your hair was more fragile wet than dry. I mean, and then you make the case of loving to comb your hair while it's wet, but then it's wet when it's weak and it's wet. But then you say when it's dry, you want to finger comb it. So how is it? Is it weak when it's dry, or is it? I mean, it's like you can't be on all those pages at the same time, and that is why Black people have never been taught.
Well, Ms. Foster is saying that maybe we believe it's fragile because we don't see Black women with the hair down their backs. That's a good, and I'm going to move to the next one. So could that be?
Well, let me just say this, Miss C. Foster. Yeah, let me just say this, Miss Foster. You want to see the I want you to Google Avin, Aevin, Dugas, Dugas, I think. She has the biggest afro according to World Guinness Book of World Records. Right?
Yeah.
And if you were to stretch her hair, it is like almost 3 feet. So don't tell me that Black folks' hair don't have no hair down there. Afro hair does not grow to the floor. It is not growing to your ass. Afro curly hair grows out, up, around, and then it falls. It falls to gravity and weight. It's like a tree. A tree don't grow long. It grows tall. One follicle, one hair. Black folks have got to understand your hair don't grow to length. Length is not a metric in nature. Nature grows up, out, and then falls to gravity. It doesn't grow long. And long is to the floor. Nothing that is alive grows back into the ground or downward besides roots. Nothing grows like that. Black people, please stop saying that. You got to,
Okay.
you have to.
Well, okay. So Miss Morrow is saying, okay, she's got you, but it's not supposed to be perfect or equal. So she's saying nature is not perfect. So in its, or because this, of course, this is definitely this is man-made. So she's saying that, you know, the hair has different flaws. So that would account for why you might see some variations in the diameter, because if this was a human hair, it wouldn't be, you know, like this.
No,
you know
ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
No, ma'am.
All right.
No,
okay. So you guys are doing a dynamic job.
Cotton, linen.
Okay, so you guys are doing a dynamic job. And again, we appreciate each and every last one of you for partnering with us, because we are very bold in helping to change the narrative. Because here's what happens if we don't step in and do our parts as licensed professionals to do the right thing to help protect the public. Because we are seeing that a lot of people are being duped, and they are just trying to really finesse their way through with pseudoscience that doesn't work. And I'm going to use the example of the submersible. May all of the families rest in peace. So this is not a play on the families who were lost at sea in their efforts to, you know, see the Titanic. So this clip is only from a scientific point, and we are going to, you know, to support Cheryl's and our claims of why education in Afro hair science is so important. So again, this is not to make fun or to pick at this family or this gentleman who attempted to make this submersible.
One thing they're really worried about is right here. It says, our apprehension is that the current experimental approach adopted by OceanGate could result in negative outcomes from minor to catastrophic.
What you talking about, Will?
Here's where it gets really scathing. Look at this third paragraph down. It says your marketing material advertises that Titan design will meet or exceed the DNV safety standards, yet it does not appear that OceanGate has the intention of following these class rules. Your representation is at minimum misleading to the public and breaches an industry-wide professional code of conduct we all endeavor to uphold. That's probably one of the most damning statements I've seen against OceanGate so far.
Damn!
It's just like when you're building a bridge or something. When you're designing a bridge or a building, it's always a good idea to have a peer review, to have a third party check it out for you.
Okay, I cannot think of any example. I am telling you guys, please, you must stop. You have to stop watching those people, because they're not killing you, but they are killing your hair and your pockets. There is Afro Hair Science. We are hosting this Afro Hair Summit because we are so concerned about the misinformation that people are ingesting, and they're trying to make it make sense. And you hear some key similarities. Marketing material. They marketed this thing as if it was very safe. They were misleading. 4C hair, terribly, terribly, terribly. There could be nothing in the hair industry more damaging, more condescending than 4C hair. Here we go.
Is my hair really type 4C?
What you talking about, Will?
This is the Andre Walker hair typing system. Who is he? This guy. Why do we know him? Because he was Oprah's hairstylist for years on her show, and he won Emmys for his work. Does something seem missing? Yeah, it caught a lot of heat because there's no 3C or 4C represented. When was type 3C and 4C introduced? It seems that Naturally Curly heard the outcry and created a modified chart that included the missing hair types. Now we have 3C and 4C naturals represented.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Danger. Danger. Who the hell is naturally curly? Come on, y'all. Talk to us. Come on. Don't be scared. Talk to us, Cheryl. Talk to us. Dangerous, guys. Danger, 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 danger.
I am not lost for words at many times, but I think that once we can get into a closed room and be focused on what we can do together and try firsthand. I mean, and just have a moment with each other so we can, because it seems like our education is going to, I didn't read what Miss Foster said, but if you
I'll
can
put it back up.
Right. I just know that part of our education process and getting very sophisticated and meeting the needs of our clients and in the consumer body, we're gonna have to have like 2 hours of myth busting. I mean, just busting,
Well, here she says, yeah, we need to know the truth, says Miss Foster. I went back and I watched her old protein videos because everyone is talking about protein sensitivity, including some stylists. I don't know the whole protein sensitivity. I've said it over, and thank you so much, Miss Foster. Hair is protein. What y'all talking about? I mean, what y'all saying?
Okay. Since
you have different kinds, I get it. You have hair care products are like liquor, so you got some cheap stuff. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cheryl. I'm sorry. Thank you, Miss Foster.
But wait a minute. But where did it come from? But where did it, Miss Foster? Where did that come from? Can we find out who said it and why?
Yeah. I mean, we've heard some strange things. If you are watching this post live or even now, don't be afraid. We're trying to help. I mean, even though, again, we're making fun of the dumbest shit that Black people say about Black hair. Miss Foster, I'm going to put your post up again. She said, we have licensed professionals. We have hair care people who are opening hair care companies, and they are using 4C language. Did you hear what the man said in the clip? Did you hear what the man said? This is dangerous. This is very, very, very dangerous. I'll play it again. Here we go.
One thing they're really worried about is right here. It says, our apprehension is that the current experimental approach adopted by OceanGate could result in negative outcomes from minor to catastrophic.
What you talking about, Willis?
Here's where it gets really scathing. Look at this third paragraph down. It says your marketing material advertises that Titan design will meet or exceed the DNV safety standards, yet it does not appear that OceanGate has the intention of following these class rules. Your representation is at minimum misleading to the public and breach.
All right, misleading to the public. These people are not following the rules of science. They are making this stuff up. Making this stuff up. If you are a licensed professional, go and visit afrohairscience.com. 3 classes, $45 for braiding métier, $45 for salon métier, and $55 for Afro Hair Science. Please make the investment to learn, to undo. It is I'm talking about, you know how people say God put you on the planet? I think God put me on the planet to bring Afro hair education to the masses. That's how I know. Absolutely. I know. I wish I could do something like submersible science or whatever, and get y'all to the moon and cure cancer, and get your teeth fixed, but you don't have to pay the dentist and what I'm gonna have to do. That ain't my purpose in life. My purpose is to get this Afro hair science to the masses, because they're just killing Black people. They're killing our wallets. They're killing our minds. So there's
the self-esteem and the self-esteem and the self-worth.
And the self-esteem. All right. So here we go. Let's go on to the next one. That was number 7 or number 6. So let's go over to, let me go back over to the next one. Okay, so we have that was a gimmick. All right, using water to refresh hair. That's a hairstylist. We don't like when you do that. That's the number 7 mistake that people make when they're doing their hair at home, because the natural hairstyling is in. Dangers of just spraying your water on your hair every single day, every morning, every noon, every night to refresh your hair. You're going to use that water, then come back through with your styling agent. What's up with just putting water on the hair over and over and over and over again?
Because they believe, and we're taught, and I'm not saying it's their imagination, because wetness, moisture, or water does tend to make the hair heavier. And then once it's heavier, it comes together and you can comb it. I get it. But the problem is that the water triggers the curl. So if you're trying to go in this direction, you're trying to go down, spraying water makes it go up. That's where you guys call shrinkage. So spraying water all the time to refresh, I would rather you just shampoo it and go ahead and get into your beauty process. But doing the shortcut exacerbates the very thing or the very direction you want it to go.
And you get mineral deposits on that hair. That you just keep spraying that water. That tap water has some minerals. If you think, hey, y'all see, Cheryl just taught me I'm not ashy. I got minerals on my skin, you know? Okay, guys, look at your faucet.
And you do the same thing to your clothes. You do the same thing to your clothes. You put a dryer sheet in the what? Dryer.
Right.
You put fabric softener in the water. But for some reason, we don't think of putting things, the substance that we want, quote unquote, to be absorbed, if that's the principle you're using. Why don't you just put it on there? Because the hair does not have a brain. The hair don't have no brain that says, up, water, let me shrink. It doesn't, as long as it's a wet substance. So why not put the other stuff that you actually want on the hair? Then if you want a little bit of it rinsed out or rinsed out altogether, then just rinse it. Because the hair is going to suck up the very first thing that it touches.
And it's going to evaporate so fast. So put that spray bottle down and get your styling agent. We're not here to promote our favorite one or not. And just put that on your hair, but put that water bottle down. And how about you drink the water? Okay. How about we do that? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Here's the number 8. Are you ready, Leslie Ann? This one's for you. I hope you're still in the chat. My hairstylist. Here's number 8. This is we just don't like when customers do this.
This is what $0 an hour looks like. So here we go.
No show. We can't stand when customers no show their hair appointments. That's number 8. We just can't. We cannot take it. So the no show is a very, very, very dangerous thing. So I had to put that one in there for my hairstylist. So go ahead. Here's another clip. Let's see what I put here. The 2023 Afro Hair Summit presents our free community town hall held at America's oldest African American theater, the Caramo House. Located in Cleveland, Ohio, this will be done in partnership with the Ohio Media School, who will be interviewing our keynote speaker, Cheryl Morrow, to discuss the myriad of concerns and solutions around the public's concerns of what's happening and not happening in the barbering and cosmetology profession. As well, we'll be talking about the Crown Act. There are other issues that Cleveland's community is concerned about when it comes to Afro hair, such as cultural appropriation, the ability to understand and actually do Afro hair. We love to see you, so go right on over and visit afrohairscience.com to RSVP your seat to help change the narrative. That's for the free. It's free to the public. Come on out so we can have a healthy discussion because we want to do better. The barber and beauty and the natural hair community and dermatology, we want to do better and do right by you guys. So we want to hear from you. And Cheryl is the perfect person to have a healthy dialogue. So this would be like a state of the union for Afro hair. So come on out at the Caramoo. It is absolutely free. Just RSVP. And I think you guys are going to love it. All right. So here we go. We got a couple of comments here. You guys again are being absolutely dynamic. What's up? We got Chucky's in the house. Oh, my boss is in the chat. Y'all got to drop y'all LJ. Come on, guys. When my boss is in the chat, that lets her know that I'm not out here messing up. Chucky, you know who my boss is. You just met her a couple of times. So Lavina is in the chat. My colleague, Chucky, baby. Chucky is in the chat. So here we go. Let's get another clip. And let's see what I got right here. Here we go. We're talking about the top 10 mistakes that customers make at home when it comes to their hair. And just to kind of rattle down as we wind this podcast up, we're talking about questioning how long does it last, using Google and TikTok for instructions, we gotta get that one last time. Falling for the influencers, the wide tooth comb, aka finger combing, those gimmicks. Watch out for those gimmicks. Using water, and then we have. Let's see what we have here. Whoops, sorry.
4B and 4C strand types are probably the most misunderstood and misrepresented hair patterns on the Andre Walker hair typing chart.
What you talking about, Willie?
So, why the confusion? As the modified chart stands, when one is looking at the progression of the rest of the chart, many assume that 4B must mean that there is a curl that is slightly smaller than 4A, yet larger and more defined than 4C hair types. But remember, 4C was added on by the natural hair community, not Mr. Walker himself. So if we were going along with the natural progression of the rest of the chart, 4C should probably come before 4B.
The dumbest shit people say about black hair.
Or Andre had never seen kinky hair without a curl, and 4B is a side view of a 4C curl.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right, so that brings us down to the number one complaint that hairstylists have when customers are taking care of their hair at home, and that is, you know more than the hairstylist. I mean, she knew a lot more. She gave up. She did reveal the source of where this science is coming from, and she says the natural hair community is creating this. And Cheryl, you say?
What I actually do say for all the wonderful people that are on the chat and professionals. Big hair ball of confusion. Hair ball of confusion. Great pun, Miss Foster. Absolutely. Hit it on the head. Let me just add one thing to they know more than the hairstylist. I'm going to add the 10 to your 9. And I'm going to say, in my opinion, one of the biggest mistakes is just that they're not honest. When you ask them questions about what they've done, what they do, their regimen, what do they think happened, regardless if it ends in hair loss or whatever, they don't tell you the truth. And I think that
And that's
They
the customers. You're speaking to the customers not
Mhm.
being honest. So we said number 10 was,
they,
the customers knowing more. And she wants to add that, some customers are not being forthright. And
no.
yeah, please continue.
Well, and two, because it's important to make our job better, and we are trying to do better. But it's almost like I'm going to add on: don't lie to your attorney and don't lie to your hairstylist, because it's gonna come out in either in the wash, the rinse, the blow dry, or the styling. The truth is going to come out, and so that is the time for communication, clear communication, and honesty, because they don't like to tell you the truth. They want to leave things out. And when, it's kind of hard to do that to me because I'm going to know anyway. And if you are a top professional, like I'm sure you guys are, if you guys ask, you probably already know the truth anyway. You just want to hear it from their perspective. But we're here to do a job. We're here to serve, but to serve with the best set of circumstances and the best set of knowledge. We are going to take the responsibility of informing and getting educated, especially on the science, but we also have to communicate our expectations to them once they come back to our salons. They need a set of expectations, because you don't want someone, you work hard and growing their hair and whatever the case may be, and then they do something at home that's really weird, and then they come back and want you to rework it and solve their problem that could have been prevented. And so that is what we talk about at that whole weekend.
Right. Like Leslie Ann said. Thank you, Miss Leslie Ann. Don't forget you got that free ticket. Leslie, don't forget. So I can't wait to meet you on Monday, July 17th. Class starts at 10:30. So come on in early. It's going to be held at the Iris S. and Bert Woolstein Center, and this is going to be over at Case Western Reserve. And when I tell you, the facility is absolutely beautiful. We are there to learn Afro hair science, the class that Cheryl is going to be teaching that day. The course roster includes Afro hair science. She's going to also be teaching on the wonders of the scalp, Afro hair repair, Afro hair retail, and then she's going to touch on Afro hair loss. Bring your notebooks, take notes, get your questions ready. This is not a hair show. This is a class, and this is advanced training, and it is for licensed barbers, cosmetologists, students of barbering and cosmetologists, your natural hairstylist, as well as dermatologists. You guys can't get any better than that. And we also have some politicians who's going to be there, because we understand it's really important that with the passing of the Crown Act that's sweeping across the United States, we're also trying to get that passed here. It's important that we have professionals who can service this sector of hair in the most prestigious and professional manner ever. And so Cheryl Morrow's Afro Hair Science is where you can come, because you won't find this in the Milady's book of cosmetology. I repeat, you will not find Afro Hair Science in any book authored by the Milady's book of cosmetology, nor Pivot Point or Vidal Sassoon. I repeat, you won't find Afro Hair Science in those three publications. Great publications, by the way, but they do not have Afro Hair Science. So the other thing about not being forthright is that here's what they don't tell you at the hair salon, right? And my book is available, ebooks, right? You can download it, or you can go to my store and you can buy it. But so here we go, guys. Hair does something called adumbrates, and adumbrates translates into tell a story. So even if you don't tell us your hair and your scalp, to Cheryl's point, it is going to tell us what you are not saying. So it would behoove you to tell us exactly what happened to your hair at the onset of the consultation. So we appreciate you all very, very, very much. We're going to be back next week. And because we find this very, very important, we're going to talk about the dangers. I think you guys may not be aware of the dangers of misinformation. I'll keep some of those clips and maybe Cheryl, we can dissect them a little bit more point by point. And because I forgot who said it. I think that was you, Miss Foster. Miss Foster said that we have a lot of professionals who are regurgitating this rhetoric of, first of all, natural hair in itself is a bad word. Okay?
It's a horrible word.
It's a horrible word. Natural hair is not a good word. So we have to take that deep dive because the public is being ripped off. Licensed professionals, we're now, to your point, Miss Foster, taking on the affect of a very illogical, unscientifically sound group of people who don't know what we're talking about. When I heard some of who I would consider people who I admire in the beauty industry use 4C in their language, I was ready to quit. I was. I said, wow, we're in a bad place. We're in a bad, bad place, guys. And we've got to do something about it. We have to stop it. Professionals should not be using 4C
numbers and fonts and sizes and inches. I mean, it's to define something like that and to subgroup it out like that is to further distance
it is
so from science in the first place and to even know where to look for anything factual.
Yeah. Thanks, Chuck. Thank you so much. And Chucky, Charles Calhoun, he is a licensed professional. He could tell you firsthand. I would say Reverend's design team, we were out here like, with the baton, like, get back, beating off. Wasn't we, Chucky? Like, don't say that. Stop saying that. We were losing. Cosmetologists was getting mad at us. Like, yeah, I'm like, stop saying 4C hair. Stop saying 3C hair. When I work with companies, I ask them, please don't do that. Don't say that. And, we were out there. We were the first to ring the alarm, to sound the alarm. Natural hair, 4C hair, I can make your hair grow. These things, they do nothing but divide and conquer. And you put a lot of money into a lot of people's pockets, who means you no good. The Afro hair science is affordable. We need you guys to share the content on your social media page. This is our effort. So thank you so much. Joy, here we go. Joy says she can't wait to see us Jay can't wait to see us at the summit. So Cheryl, wait a minute. I forgot to give a super shout out because he was dropping some knowledge about you in the chat. Where'd he go? Hold on, wait a minute, y'all. Don't leave just yet. Theophilus, am I saying his name right? He talked about the scientific study. He talked about Cheryl being in museums. He was dropping the knowledge. So can we give my homeboy Theophilus? Am I saying his name right? I thought that's not how you Theo.
Theo.
Okay, Theo. I'm from the projects, Theo. I'm not saying people in the projects can't pronounce. I'm talking about me. Remember, when I say these things, I'm talking about myself. So Theo has been dropping much knowledge. D. Morrow dropping much knowledge. Please keep rocking it out with us, D. Morrow, because you're definitely always helping, to make all of this make a whole lot of sense. So, Miss Morrow, I appreciate you so much. It takes a lot of courage to put the facts in the chat, And so, like Chucky said, we was the first. We won't be the last. If you are a licensed professional and you're ready to take it to the next level, come on and join us. So, Cheryl, wrap us up with some wonderful hold on, here go Miss Foster. Here we go. Here. I'm about to go comb my hair with my Dr. Willie Morrow Easy Tease comb. Can we give some of those away next week, Cheryl? You got a few?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So
Absolutely.
come back next
Because
week.
all of our partners will get one. That's
all right.
Idea.
All right. So come on, partners. We got some easy, calm. Cheryl go make some what you call those, some graphics that we're giving away.
Absolutely.
Because remember, hair care and hairstyling are about the right products, the right tools, and the right styling techniques. That's all it's all about. And we're here. So Cheryl, I believe you have one. I don't think you're lying. I know you're telling the truth. So Cheryl, wrap us up with these top 10 mistakes and give us a food for thought. I'm sorry, y'all. I said food for thought about this whole topic of making mistakes and how we as licensed professionals, we really want to do better. We want to do better. We're doing better.
I think we all want to do the best job, an exemplary job, but we also want to be in charge of our industry. We also want to be the forerunners and the purveyors of the knowledge and the wisdom. It is ours to have, and it's ours to educate, it's ours, to teach. And if all of us can just learn from each other and get on the same page, and salon métier, I think is probably going to be, I didn't really realize it until this podcast, how we all need to be in a room and just have the physical techniques. So I can learn from Ladosha, we can just exchange. And then we can say, oh, that's a set of truth that we can get on because it is to our best interest. It is that it upholds the integrity of the fiber. And we will be able to be the mother and fathers of that information that is tried and true. And it's germane to how we experience it. And then we give it to the world. And then that is the relationship we want. That's preserving it, for future generations. So
right.
Hope to see y'all soon.
Yeah, we're hoping to really make this like a worldwide phenomenon that, I don't know, is it San Diegoans? I don't know, is that such a word?
What?
The San Diegoans, or is it San Diegoites or something?
San Diegans.
San Diegans. Okay.
San Diegans.
So San Diegans, right? And Ohioans. Look at that. We're coming from opposite sides of the nation. Do you guys see what's happening? And we're bringing it together. For whatever reason, the cosmetology and barber industry, we're trying to do it with the hair shows. But we saw a split because you saw white people going to, and you saw black people, a little sprinkle. What we want to do is bring everybody together and bring that support of dermatologists and politicians, because these are the people who help make laws and the science to bring us together to one big happy family, to be of better service, better service to the public, and more than likely more affordable too. So you guys get ready to join us. We'll be back next week, and we're going to talk about how this misinformation. So again, if you are a licensed person or just an everyday, you're a hair enthusiast and you like hanging out with us, come on back because you are our partners. We're giving away Dr. Willie Morrow's Easy Calms. Okay, so come on and get you a free calm, and we're going to talk about the dangers of harmful, of misinformation. Okay, so that's it. I think we got it. All right, so we'll be back. How misinformation hurts Black people and Black businesses. All right. Okay, guys, you know what we say when we're always signing out. Okay, now hold on. White people, y'all can come in too. Let me try it again. How misinformation hurts all people and all the barber and beauty businesses. I heard that. Dr. Morrow made me come back and say, don't say that. So I'm going to come back. See how I listen to spirit? I will repeat it again. How misinformation hurts all people and all the barber and beauty businesses. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Take us out with that song. All right. I can do that. All right. Mission accomplished. We taking requests, taking them out with that song. All right. You guys, yes, we are always talking about a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of love, and a whole lot of hair. If you ain't got it, no more. Thanks, Sandy. Don't cut it off. We say go ahead on and let us do what? Do your hair. Rub your beautiful bald head with bald patches. Because all that's beautiful too. Sandra! I love you. Thank you, Miss Morrow. Thank you, Theo. We love you guys. You all are the absolute best. Keep partnering with us.